today I would like to give you a review of this trailer, and it's not gonna be a dealer's review. I don't know if there's many of them on YouTube, but we watched a lot of different reviews from the different dealerships, and all of them were just great. So we picked that model, that manufacturer, solely on the reviews from dealership. But today is different. We own this trailer for, I want to say, a couple of weeks, and I'll tell you a little story, and I'll show you around on the outside and the inside of the trailer. So I personally am a HVAC technician, and the keyword here is a technician. So I like to see how things work, take things apart, hopefully get them fixed myself. And yes, I was gonna tell you, if you own or planning on owning one of these, I can't speak for all the manufacturers and all the models, but this particular model of the trailer, you need to be a electrician, a carpenter, hopefully a welder, and the plumber as well. So, and have a little bit of background in construction, I'll say. So, okay, let's switch camera and start going around. So the trailer we're looking at is Wildwood by Forest River. It's an FSX model, 178 BHSK. And this one here is actually Midwest edition. They don't show it anywhere, but if you Google Forest River Wildwood FSX 178 BHSK Midwest, it's gonna be different from the one they sell in the Midwest. So starting with, we are located in Montana, and this trailer we went to pick up for 900 miles away from this dealership, which from our experience is a great dealership. And the reason why I'm gonna attempt to fix some stuff myself is simply because they are 900 miles away from us. They're located in Iowa. And starting with the exterior, here in Montana, at least in our region, we don't have a big problem with vehicles rusting out like in Indiana and those other states. And I was gonna show you the frame and metal work on the bottom of the trailer. So we picked it up a couple of weeks ago. I believe this trailer was manufactured in or delivered to the dealer in March. Actually, yeah, not sure, but for the manufacturer purposes, I can show the build number right there. If they ever watch this video, they could, relate to the date of manufacture and other hopefully useful information. So yes, we already took it through some gravel roads, and here it is. Actually, here's your dry weight as well, and here's a VIN number. So the frame started to rust everywhere. All the jacks I had to lubricate because all the screws on them were just rusted. Frame is rusted everywhere. The steps, you can tell there is rust on all the welded spots. There is rust everywhere. So the process had started. So when we looked at the trailer on the initial walkthrough, I was like, are you guys sure it's a brand new trailer? Because it sure doesn't look like to me. But anyway, In fact, it is a brand new trailer. And you look at the frame, everywhere is rust. So since we're here down underneath the trailer, they advertised completely enclosed body, so the panels only go to the end of the steps, and from there it's not enclosed. That's where your bed is for this model, so that is not enclosed. And because of that, we see all the electrical, and electrical is just a mess. I actually had to go down there and tighten some stuff because I lost battery power when I unhooked from the vehicle when we towed it home. So far this trailer went into a 900-mile trip from Iowa to Montana, and then onto a 400-mile round trip to our first camping. And yes, things are falling apart on the inside of the trailer. So that's what the frame looks like. You can see everything for yourself. And why I'm saying you might need to be a welder. So there's a gas tank frame and a battery frame. Right now I have my distribution bar, torsion bars, temporary attached here. So we might not see much, but if we look from the bottom, this is the welding job of a 3-year-old. And sure enough, it started to rust everywhere. Even the emergency brake switch, for some reason, rusts, looks like from the inside. I need to get to it, see if I can take it apart. Probably not, but this started to rust, and I don't really feel safe that this actually gonna actuate in an emergency, because you can tell that rust is coming from inside of the switch, and it doesn't look like it can be taken apart. So rust everywhere. But yeah, these additions, same with the gas tank. I'm not a welder, but I think I can do a better job on welding than this was done. So yeah, look, it's the welding wire. But yeah, horrible. And if you look on this from the top, it's even worse. Okay, moving on. The first impression, it was great, just like we saw trailer on the pictures. That's what we wanted to see, and that we saw. The looks of it are good. And since we're looking at the exterior, the roof is a membrane roof, and during the walkthrough I put ladder up there and I looked at the roof, and I actually could see a couple of screws, tips of the screws poking through the roofing material. So we had dealer, which again, kudos to them, in a very short period of time put on an additional solar panel, which this trailer comes with one already, and the controller. So they put an additional panel, and we got an additional battery. That's why you're looking at 2 batteries there instead of 1. But those are just 24 series batteries. So from the outside, except for the frame, so far nothing had fallen apart, and I don't have really big complaints, except for materials they used. The locks are really cheap, and they also, as you can tell, got some corrosion on the inside. It took a while for me to work through them to have them operate, but this is not an issue. I'm gonna replace those anyway. That was initial plan. No matter what, I'm gonna replace those locks, but locks are very cheap. The materials, this door I can bend with just one hand. So this what it looks like on the inside. We got some exposed plywood, trimming plywood, but it's okay. That's on the inside. The only thing I noticed is that rubber insulation or gasket is rubbing onto the railing of the mechanism, and it looks like it gets sucked into the mechanism. So I'm gonna have to address that and see if I can do something about it. But that's a quality control, definitely. I'm pretty sure when they moved it out, they should have seen that there's no gap like here and address that from the manufacturer. So they didn't. So everything here so far is all right. Yeah, there's some bends in the siding, so you can tell there's some bends here, but I don't know why, but there is a screw holding the side of that siding together. Bunch of silicone, but so far, you know, nothing to complain about. The exterior is all right. But when we get to the workmanship, so here we got our drain lines poking through, supposedly foamed in, but not. Like whoever used the foam gun didn't go all the way around, just kind of sprayed it. And so we got these openings everywhere where we have penetration. We got the openings, so I'm gonna have to go around and reseal. Let's see here, we got 2 holes cut, but then it's all exposed, so all the little creatures, you know, they like to live in the trailers, so they're probably gonna find their home in there. So the paneling is nice, but still, you know, if little creature wanted to, they could get in there. So I'm gonna have to address that, and I'll show you a better picture from the inside on some of that. Yeah, it did come with the spare tire and the square bumper, so camera ready. That's kind of blend in some reviews. Oh, okay, we already have screws either not tight or coming loose. Okay, so out of 10 screws we got 4 of them that are not screwed all the way in. I'm glad I showed it to you. Now I have something else to do. It actually rained really hard yesterday. Rain was coming this way, so when we go inside, let's look for some water on the floor or under the furniture. Hopefully we don't see it. Hopefully the seals are good. So yesterday was a good test for some windy and rainy or pour down rain conditions. So yeah, it only comes with one 20-pounder gas tank for some reason, I don't know. Okay, the awning is good. It's got those adjustable arms, you can adjust the pitch. Now let's see storage here. Yeah, on the storage, so this is how it came from the factory. The lock wasn't even tight, but like I said, I don't really worry. Oh, it looks like it's tight here. What's the reason for that to be loose like that? But anyway, magnetic latches are good, but there's always a but. They could probably use flathead screws, so it actually connects to the plate instead of hitting the screws. Okay, manufacturer. And it feels like this trailer was built very quick. There was no quality control whatsoever. And when you look inside, you might agree with me that this trailer, at least insides of it, were put together by a bunch of 10 years old. So I don't know how, and they probably don't take pride in what they do. So here we have little mini fridge that was sliding around, and I put some of that foam material so to stop it from sliding, because that strap is just a plastic, cheap plastic piece. Doesn't really strap it down, it still, you know, moves around. So we got a grill, a little bit of storage area, and I put one of these here because we need a ladder to get up on the bunks, because say it now, the bunks break. Got a gas line for the grill, and no complaints there so far. Grill works, fridge works. The door is flimsy. Okay, now we go inside. Inside is a little messy. Oh yeah, the door swells, and I don't think I can adjust anything there. It gets too tight when the sun is shining on it. When it's not, it's fine. It's opening and closing flawlessly. But when the sun's shining on it, there's a problem. So we got one of these because we have a dog, so it wouldn't break the screen. We got this at the dealership. Yeah, the friction hinge, that's what we got here. It works to a certain extent. If we get like 25 mile wind gusts, it still swings that door around. So I don't know, maybe it wouldn't be a bad idea to put one of these latches on here, make an add-on. So like I said, inside is a mess. I moved all the mattresses over there, and right when we walk in, you can see the material and the build quality starting from this corner that all of us already got caught on. So that's something I'm gonna have to cover up and improve, because it's right when you walk in, and underneath the mattress or bedding you can't really see that corner. So if you brush too close to it, well, you get a little bit of scratch. So like I said, this unit came with the controller for the solar panel, and we did have a dealer put in one of these. I really recommend. Same company, same brand, I mean. And this actually tells you the capacity of your batteries, how full they are, and the voltage of the batteries and the use. It either shows you negative or positive, and see it switches in between right now. Basically tells you if it's charging or discharging. So really good tool, fairly inexpensive to see how your batteries perform and how your solar perform and when your charger is hooked up. Right now we're hooked up to the shore power right there. Okay, so furniture. On the plywood, they use really thin, I don't know what it is, 3/16 plywood. Look, between this screw and that screw, I can actually lift up on the plywood. It's so flimsy. So right here, between the frame pieces, so there's a frame piece, there's a frame piece, I can push on that plywood, and this is just putting a little bit of pressure with my fist. If I sit on it, I can actually bend it. So on the initial walkthrough, we decided to unfold the bed and sit on the bed, and I believe there was a 2x2s, which are 1.5 inch by 1.5 inch wide pieces of wood of framing in there. One of them just split in half. So while we were finishing up our walkthrough, again, kudos to the dealer. They sent a guy, and he put a new piece of 2x2 in there and actually attach it with screws instead of little tiny clips, which yesterday I spent about $350 on plywood and some 2x3s and 2x2s, 2x3s and 2x4s, and on top of all the screws that I'll bring up later, total probably $400 to put into this trailer to make it usable. So we are short people, 5'5", 5'1", and I'm 150 pounds, so give it a take. So there's not much weight and height in me to break something that two people supposed to be occupying, right? So it split, it got fixed, but and I understand the weight. I don't know if they use cheap materials to cut down the weight, or if that's just the way they do. I can't tell you, but I'm planning on putting 11/32 plywood onto this bed, and we'll get to the bunks later. So despite the mess, on the initial walkthrough, everything was nice and clean, ready for us. I mean, clean where we could see. ready for us to look at. And first impressions on the inside were just like on the outside. We got what we expected from the pictures and from the reviews, dealer reviews, different dealers' reviews. Unfortunately, when now we own it, anywhere I look, excuse me, anywhere I look, I see stuff. You hardly ever see any screws, actual screws on the framing. So we'll do this. By the way, this latch is attached with 4 screws. You can see how the wall of the cabinet moves. And that's because those screws are attached to this long piece that runs down, and everything, all the furniture put together with the staples. And I don't know how long that's gonna how long that's gonna last, because you know, when you're traveling, this thing moves back and forth. So we'll see. Maybe we're gonna have to improve there later, because there's no latch on that side, so this is the only latch that holds it up. The cushions were updated per other reviewers, so they're nice. The couch, when you put it together, the couch is nice, but we're not looking at the couch, we're looking at the build quality. So to connect, I think they're 2x1s, that's what they are. They use bigger staples, just like I have in my staple gun. One here, a couple of them here, a couple of them here. But these things here, I don't even see any staples, so they probably use them going this way, long ways. But everything else, all the plywood, is stapled with tiny, bitty, I don't even think they're 1/2 inch lightweight staples. So all the plywood comes loose on the top and the bottom, and we'll see it later. So this is furniture. Furniture is all MDF wrapped into a sticky paper. So it's not even like pressed or painted. It's just wrapped into the paper that starts peeling off. There was a couple of areas I found that I was peeling off. I don't think I can remember now, but there was one spot right here where it's cut. And see, this is just a sticky paper. Just a sticky paper on the MDF. And those hinges are held in place by little tiny bitty screws like these. And the reason I have them out here, because we already have a door that fell off. So they're tiny little bitty screws. The MDF, I believe, is about 1/2 inch wide. So my plan is to get slightly bigger, slightly longer screws and redo all the hinges, so we don't have that problem, hopefully, in the future. So since we're here, down below, you see everything exposed, just because I took these fancy covers from inside there. So they basically were shoved in there, and one screw was driven into the floor to cover up the mess. And I'm glad I did take them out, because that's where all the sawdust, aluminum chunks, and everything was hiding. And you can see I did some vacuuming there. I didn't have a flex hose to get to all the crevices, but all this stuff, it comes from there when you move, because of the movement and shaking of the trailer, plus some nice breeze coming in. And let me turn the flashlight on so I can show you around, since we're already in this area. And by the way, this is plywood thickness that they used on all the exterior and interior, I mean not exterior, the pretty plywood, like decorative plywood, and the plywood that you can actually see the texture. It's maybe it's just a reverse plywood, but so this is how thick that plywood is everywhere, including shelves. So as you can tell, I put finger on the bottom of the shelf and it moves. Same over there. It's a little bit same material, but they probably have more bracing for this one. The only real shelf is this in the whole unit. The rest, oh yeah, look. I don't know if you can tell that it's moving. Everything is that flimsy. Like I said, no screws. I believe Jayca, at least according to some reviews, they used pocket screws. Here, there is nothing. All staples, and I can actually feel paper on the MDF peeling on the back side of it. So, let me turn the flashlight on. Sorry, it's gonna be a little bit shaky. But yeah, you can still see the sawdust and stuff coming from there. That plastic piece is actually wheel well, which is kind of bent right here, so it's probably gonna crack winter time. So this flimsy plastic, it's all that stops water from coming in if it ever breaks. So right underneath there's your tire. So it's not like Jayca they advertised they've got metal there, not on this trailer. So this rip and fancy plywood we have came from a ground wire, which apparently I think was a little bit too short to reach its destination, and they just ripped it through the plywood during installation. And I'm a technician, I already mentioned that. And look at the wiring, the plumbing, the wiring. That's me putting a couple of zip ties to hold this spider web of wires just hanging here all in one place. Gas plumbing, water plumbing, electrical, everything is the mess. This is the way how manufacturer runs the whole opening for their communications. And you can see all the mess down below. This is after I vacuumed it. So like I said, I didn't have a flex hose. I need to heat it again. But you can see some shiny pieces. That's aluminum. And you can actually see the framing. Right above is on this shelf is our heater. Right here, our water heater. And down there is the shower hookup, the outside shower hiding behind the generator, and I'll tell you a little bit about that too. So yeah, if this was all organized, there could be some storage that could be utilized by the users, because this trailer does not have a whole lot of room. But yeah, so these panels could be found here, 2 of them, and 1 in the bathroom cabinet, covering everything you shouldn't see. Okay, moving on. Framing here, we'll actually address that later on when I move all the mattresses back on the bed, and we can take a look at this area because there's some concerns here too. Okay, turn off the lights and put my stabilizer back on. Sorry for a shaky picture. Okay, the equipment is nice, everything works so far, no complaints there. Love the 12-volt fridge, spacious and cools quick in about 4 hours from being 75 degrees inside, because I keep it open like that and the sun is baking the trailer. So we got 75 inside, and from 75 being empty, I counted 4 hours before it's not completely cold, so it's not shutting off yet, but it's already cold enough in the freezer and the fridge to where you can put your product in. And you can put your product in almost right away. I will say after 1 hour running, when the temperature drops to like 45 in the cooler and to about 30, I believe that's what it was. It dropped to about 30 or 29 degrees in there and 45 in the cooler part. You could already load it, and it took about an hour to do so. And why I like 12-volt fridge, because with solar on a day like this, on a sunny day, it actually runs the fridge, all the lights, no problem. So with this setup, I can actually transport the trailer and don't worry about unplugging the fridge or anything like that, because the propane you can't run, it's a fire hazard while you're traveling. And electrical part of the dual power fridge is 110, which is also not accessible unless you run your generator on the back somewhere to make the fridge run. So in our setup with two solar panels, 224 series batteries, controller, and the 12-volt fridge, love it. So yes, we don't have an option of hooking it up to propane, but we don't really need that in this case. Okay, moving on. Bunk beds. We had a 6-year-old and a 15-year-old. And while on our last night of camping, she was trying to get up on the bed and she had to land hard on the floor because bed failed. And here we're looking at, I believe those are 2x2s. Yep, they're about 1.5 inch wide. And that one split. Everything held together by bigger clips, just one clip here, one clip there, no worries. And these little tiny clips, see how small they are. So since it cracked right here, I was able just to put my finger down and lift a whole piece of plywood up, and just to discover some other good things. So yeah, that's the bunk light right there. Screws are poking. I'm glad they used shorter screws, not the one that will poke through plywood. But this plywood here, see how it moves? It was also, I don't know if you can tell or not. Oh, there's one staple. There's one staple somewhere there. So it was stapled at one point, but I guess from traveling, which it is a travel trailer, it just came loose. So I got some white-headed screws. I'm gonna drive into those 2x2s, so call them, and to hold that ceiling up. We don't have that problem here because it's got like a partition with a hole, one stud in this area, and there is nothing to the end of that panel, and I think there's another one right here. Talking about how cheap materials are, they're that cheap. So you can see all the framing, and they only put 3 screws to hold that plastic piece on. But anyway, it gives you opportunity to look inside and see your framing, right? So I'm gonna have to run a couple of screws here to make it look pretty, and maybe run some white-headed screws instead. Oh yeah, this is your access panel with 2 screws to your electrical, and there's your water pump and antifreeze line is all down there. So I looked at that too. Okay, so let me move that piece out of here so I can show you. While I'm moving stuff, this is actually bottom cushioning that goes in there, and you do have access to your storage. Since this trailer only has access door from one side, this side doesn't have one, which I wish it did. This way I could access storage from both sides instead of pushing everything in and then sliding everything out to get to something that I can, like chairs, that I can't pick up from here because of the bracing. It will be nice to have a second door. So if manufacturer ever looks at this review, please do. People will appreciate that. I believe Jaka of the same floor plan. As a matter of fact, this floor plan, I switched to the wider angle so you can see maybe the floor plan. It's shared between several different manufacturers. Jaka has one. Forgot the other brands, but it doesn't matter. They all share that same floor plan with this bathroom. Yeah, these are my water tanks. But yeah, we'll get to the bathroom later. So yeah, and I believe Jaka, similar plan, has a wider access door on both sides. So okay, going back to a steady camera. Okay, so these are bunk bed mattresses, and our 6-year-old didn't really complain about. Yesterday I put one of these mattresses here on the plywood and I laid down. If I laid down flat, again, I'm a lightweight, 150. If I'm on my belly or my back, it's fine. But when I lay down on the side, all bones that stick out, they go right to the plywood. So I see how that could be uncomfortable, and my 15-year-old daughter complained about that mattress. And I'll show you later. Oh, actually, I'll show you right now. Let's switch. So I went to Walmart for $88, picked up their 3-inch mattress, which is already feeling better than the initial bed. And I can show you what's inside of the bed, because no one shows you that, right? So that's this material, which compresses really easy. So you've got about, I don't know, maybe 2.5 inches of that, not quite 3 inches. You can see the difference in height between 3 inches and that material. So this is not foam. I don't know the proper name for that material. It's like a centipon or wherever that is. How nice that covers come off, and you can probably wash them. I didn't read any instructions, but we will have to. Data manufacturing. Care instructions we'll read later. But so this is $88, and we're probably gonna have to invest into a second one. And my plan is to cut it, feed it into the cover, and use this initial mattress underneath that mattress. Just laid down, and 2 layers of that. We tried it yesterday. It works quite all right. Okay, going back to the trailer. So this mattress that goes on the bed, it's all right. I don't know what material is made out of. I don't think there is excess zipper anywhere. It feels kind of weird. It doesn't feel like foam, but I cannot tell you what's inside of it. Oh yeah, by the way, Midwest has the window that opens. The regular model, it's a solid bay window, they call it. Okay, well, let's get to the bottom part. So yeah, the table has 2 posts, which you really have to, find a sweet spot on those posts so the table is leveled and it's not crooked. But still, it doesn't matter how hard you push those in, and many trailers have these type of dinette tables. It's moving, it's flimsy, so make sure you don't spill any of your food when you put it on the table when it's all put together. And if anybody knows of improvement that can be done to this table, please let me know. Send me a link or wherever. I'm really interested in getting that improved. The countertop materials seem to be fine. They're sealed all the way on the corners, so there's no seam for water to get in here, and also on the countertop, so there's no complaint there. Let me show you the sink. Oh yeah, it comes with this sound bar, wherever that is, but it's really cheap Chinese sound bar that doesn't really have good sound. But yeah, it's got under counter sink, the higher raised faucet. So yeah, so far no complaints there. It's got these covers, one for drying your dishes, one is a cutting board. So yeah, no complaints there at this time, at least. Okay, so let's move all these cushions out of the way so I can show you the guts. Okay, and what do we see here? Same flimsy plywood. Where when we looked at one of Jayco trailers, they actually used like, I don't want to say it's half inch, but maybe 11/32, so 5/16 thick plywood with a finger hole so you can lift up and move it out of the way. So I got my measuring tape here, so let's see if we can see what's the thickness of this product. And oh, come on, let's do it this way, more stability. 1, 2, it's not even making it up to 3/16 quite. So I don't even know what it is. Well, you tell me. 2/16? It's just a joke. So, and as you can see, they used very high grade of 2x1s, which are all nutty, and nuts are always where, yeah, see that piece is on the edge, no one will sit on that, but everybody will sit on this piece, and it's got 2 nuts right there that will break right on the nuts. And look at that. These are 2x1s, and how do you call the 2x1 that doesn't have a full 2 in it? And I see that a lot in the bunk beds too. I'll show it to you. So this side seems to be all right, but still there is a clip. It's not a screw on the nut, so it all moves. So I understand the prices of lumber went up recently. Actually, it might be coming down now, but yeah, it's understandable. But man, we will be sitting on this stuff. So before even lifting up the cushions, when we were doing the walkthrough, I could feel that my butt sags right here. I don't put much pressure on it, just my arm, and it's cushioning. So yeah, it does give you a little bit of flex, but I rather have a better piece of plywood. So that's what I did. I picked up 4 pieces of plywood, got them cut. Здесь хорошо сразу можно все порезать, любые материалы. So I got some lumber, I got all my cut plywood, so we managed to make like a jig puzzle out of, and so bigger pieces go on the bunks and beds, and smaller pieces go under the cushions on the dinette. And this is, I believe, 11/32 or 5/16 plywood. And sure enough, bunch of decking screws to attach plywood everywhere to the frame and reinforce the frame, and we'll see how that goes. So back to it, everything is on clips, so this is the same plywood. But anyway, plenty of storage. We had all sleeping bags. I think we still have them there. Yeah, our sleeping bags there just in case. But this what gets me. So you got this piece supporting your weight on not a full 2x1, on 2 screws, and it's already split right there. So moving on to bunk beds, I'm gonna turn my fancy light on, but it's gonna be a little bit shaky. So I'm gonna have to replace this piece. I'm gonna try to fit a 2x4 in here. But yes, when we look down underneath the plywood on the top bunk, I don't know how that opposite board is attached. I have a feeling it's screwed in from the outside, so there is no way to redo it unless you rip the siding on the outside of the trailer. But it is split right there. I think I see the tip of the screw, and it's split right there. That piece has a nut right in the middle of it. So these pieces are decent, for the exceptions of them being held with this piece by clips. So my plan is to reinforce with some 3-inch screws diagonally through the boards, and put a couple more pieces of 2x3s in the middle here for some extra support. But look at these 2x2. The chunk of it is just ripped off and missing, so I guess it's split and I just ripped it off, and screws are already splitting the wood. So how much weight can this one screw hold on the corner of the bunk? So this is pretty much all that holds that corner. There is a second screw, but still there's not much 2x2 left. And let's see if there is stud in the wall. No, there is no stud in the wall. So there is one here somewhere going long ways, and I believe they've got another support board on the back side of that plywood there, because there is nothing going up and down. I wish I had framing plans for this unit. But in the end of that 2x2, same thing. It broke off and they just ripped it off and put that piece right on there. I could see that in a different manufacturer. I think it was a Salem trailer. So this piece here, I just pried this one paper clip off and lifted all with my just one finger, just like that. I lifted a whole plywood because it only has 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 staples on each side. 1, 2, and a 3. I can see them all sticking up. Let me lift up that piece. It gets cut on this little trim piece, so let me do that. Okay, what do we have here? So like I said, this at least has support. So, oh wow, there's a screw. Huh. Looks like one screw head broke off. But anyway, that one screw goes into the middle of this partition, and at least this bunk has got a little bit of support in the middle compared to the one above it. But look, there is not a big one. There is a split. Okay, so there is a split in wood where I hope the screw was holding it together. Right, so I'm gonna reinforce this piece too, because this whole piece is hanging. But yeah, at least this one's got a little bit more support on this end. But anyway, I'm gonna put probably a 2x4 instead, and look at all the staples right there. Yeah, and everything moves, so don't be surprised there. Everything I touched, yeah, not there, not over there, but everything just moves. So, but yeah, this bunk bed could probably survive. This one didn't. So, and not only counting lumber pricing and hardware and everything, what about my time? I'm spending a nice sunny weekend fixing a brand new trailer. And yes, I could have taken it to the dealer 900 miles. I could probably find one locally, but right now it's beginning of the season, and guess what everybody's doing? Everybody's taking their trailers to dealers to get them ready for the season or get them ready for the trip. And guess what? How much am I gonna wait to get that warranty taken care of? Yes, it's got a 1-year warranty, but so I'm trying to fix it all myself. Hopefully I succeed. And now we're moving to the bathroom. The toilet is alright. The shower is crappy cheap shower. There is an access panel put on with a couple screws just pushed in, and we can actually turn the light on and look inside there, and we'll see something interesting down there. But before we go, for some reason that shower panel was put in place in silicone, but then it was moved down and not silicone. So I don't know if there was a leak or something that they had to take care of, but I need to address that too, because the water will get inside there. This shower cover material is nice to have it there. It's better than not to have it there, because again, the Jayco trailers, I believe, they have just this plywood, textured plywood, all in a shower, and I don't know how long that's gonna last. So this at least should prevent it from getting soaked. But material is really, really, really cheap, and I wish this shelf wasn't there, because it really, I'm a small guy, but with the curtain being on the straight pole, the curtain gets sucked in and you really have limited room for your elbows to move around between curtain and this shelf. So I wish this shelf wasn't there. If someone knows how I can get rid of it safely, please let me know. But this is just flimsy plastic that supposed to be glued, I think. I feel some tacking on the back side of it, but it's not. And if you put something here, even a piece of soap, it just slides right off. So you can't use this shelf, it only gets on your way. Yeah, we put some hooks for the, like a washcloth or something, some towel hooks, because there was not one made for it. It's got a nice looking cabinet with some space here, but ugly looking on the bottom. when you sit on the toilet, you enjoy this ugly duty piece of plywood and some really nice workmanship. Here we're okay. The sink is on the smaller side, but you know, we're small people, we can still use it sufficiently. And then we come to the broken door. Yeah, you can see on the bottom is not attached anymore, and I already showed you the screws, and it looks like the MDF started to warp already. I see it bowing for no reason. We only used shower 3 times, and we had the fan on to suck all the moisture right out. So I don't know how long this MDF is gonna last in here, but you see the bottom hinge is broken. And we get to the good stuff. Let me turn the light back on. Unfortunately, this way, for some reason, it loses. It's squeaky toilet. Every time someone uses a toilet, we all can hear squeaking going through the whole camper. But anyway, see, I have to hold this door so it doesn't break off completely. Yeah, it started to come loose right there too. So yeah, there is not much of these screws holding up to anything. But anyway, right down below there, you can see a really nice round hole for all the plumbing, and hole going in there for all the plumbing. So this is going down into the gray tank. This is going down to the water here on the other side of the camper, and the white line is actually a black tank flush. And you'll ask me, what are those clamps are doing there? Well, unfortunately, I didn't have enough length or access to that line, but that line was kinked in half. I mean, completely kinked. No water will pass through that line. So what I did, I got some reinforced drain line. It's like a skeleton drain line, spliced it, and piece about 6 inches I slid over the tube and squeeze it with 3 hose clamps to straighten out that line and keep it from kinking again. Because like I said, I don't have enough access down in there. This is how far I can move that line out, and it's kinked right down below there because they had too much excess line. See how much slack is there, and all that slack created a kink, and I cannot really get down underneath there because black stuff there, you can see it's a foam. There's a whole bunch of that foam on this side. For some reason, there is not enough on the outside. I showed you that area, but this nice hole is open to the outside. You saw that it's not sealed on the bottom. You can get through some hole cuts, through some holes that are cut in the bottom paneling. So this is your first access to the trailer for the creatures. So I'm gonna have to work on that and get it all sealed. Over there too, I don't know if I can get to. I'm gonna see, but it goes down underneath the floor, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to seal that or not. But I'll try to do as much as I can to prevent from rodents getting into the trailer. And screws, I'm gonna have to go around and improve all of the... Yeah, isn't it annoying, that squeaky toilet? So then the lines get around down there, and let's open up this panel, because on the other side, behind that white panel, that actually, when we were doing walkthrough, was just laying down there. So what I did there, since they're supposed to have a gap for some shower, outside shower hookups, you need about 10 inches to accommodate for the lines that run down underneath the bathtub or shower tub. So that piece was just attached with some clips to a 1/2 by 1/2 inch little block screwed to the floor. So that piece just fell on its own. What I did, I built up 3 or 4 2x4 pieces, screwed them to the floor, and then to each, to themselves, creating a little block wall. And then I attached that panel to cover up the shower lines and stuff. And I attached a bracket on each side. And now I can strap my generator to it. Generator is about 95 pounds. And it's got wheels on one end of it. So to prevent it from sliding back and forth and side to side, now it's attached to a block wall of 2x4s that attach to the floor, and it's not going to move anywhere in the normal towing operation, right? And again, those 2x4s are protecting shower plumbing on the back side of it as well. Okay, so let's pop that nice, really nice panel and see what's down below. Yeah, the screws were just pushed in into plywood. You can see there's a couple of holes. But now let's see what we can see. So there's another really nice hole to the outside. So you see those lines going, well, let me get inside there, going to the shower. Oh yeah, the shower ones are far in the corner there, and these are, outside shower, and these lines are the inside shower. And see all the sawdust? That's what I saw underneath every cabinet. So yeah, that's another opening. I'm gonna have to somehow seal it, but again, I cannot really do something hard here, completely covered in foam, because this is my P-trap. I need to be able to access it for cleaning, I guess. But again, I don't want to leave that big opening for the mice to get in. So tell me what I should do. And let's push those screws back in, like it never happened. Oh, like that. So this one we might screw in, but that one is already pushed in. So okay. Yeah, really nice, really nice. So this is bathroom for you. Oh, by the way, I was gonna address these fans as well. So these are gonna be upgraded in the future. The reason why we wanted this particular model, oh, let me switch back to a not shaky version. Here we go, sorry about that. This particular model, Midwest, comes with 2 power fans, one here, one in the bathroom, where not Midwest version of it actually comes with a totally different trimming, dark brown colors, different microwave, stove is different. It's an old style stainless stove top here that takes up more space, and the handles are on the top of it. This one is really nice. We love it, and it's got that cover which extends your counter space. You know, you can put your cutting board on top and do all your business. and then open it up and cook some food. And yes, having a double sink, which doesn't have a separator. Some of them do have a separator in the sink. This is a full sink. I can actually take a griddle top, bring it here, and wash it off if I wanted to. Yeah, the pots and pans, they fit in here too nicely. But anyway, that other model had a dual voltage fridge, had old style stove, countertops that have trimming on the outside, which water gets in between and destroys the countertops. Same with the table, different material, not sealed completely. And those models don't have these cabinet doors. And I believe microwave is on this side, and then there is no cabinet. Yeah, so the microwave and the hood is over right where the window is. So yeah, differences that we did not like, and especially color. This is nice and bright with some dark trimming. Really nice colors wise. Okay. So moving on. Yeah, well, since we're at it, it's got those LED lights that you push on. The only one that operates from the switch is the one here. This one here, a push button, and you can also push button turn on and off that as well. And since we're here, we got our controls, we got our tanks, batteries, and etc. Water pump, water heater, awning lights, and this one light. I wish all the lights were linked to that one switch, to where, you know, if you need to, you can just shut them all off and don't worry about going around and poking your fingers into the lights. But trailer is small. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lights. Did I count the bathroom one? Yeah, there's one in the bathroom. So oh yeah, I forgot about this piece. So this piece here need to be trimmed back because it rides on linoleum. Actually, linoleum is also really easy to scratch. We disregarded idea of the little Dyson vacuum because vacuum scratches the floor. That's so I don't know, that's just a poor cheap quality of the linoleum. But yeah, so that board is held by 4 screws on the dinette, on the slide on, and when it slides right now, it's got a gap. And by the way, the whole area down below there was full of sawdust and aluminum chunks like that. But yeah, when dinette closes, when the slide closes, that piece of wood rides on the linoleum. In this area you can see the streak line. So probably at some point I'm going to take it off and trim it back a little. But yeah, this is nothing but MDF board held by 4 screws. But nice, they didn't put any carpet here. Easy to clean. Okay, bathroom, we covered everything in bathroom. I am planning on putting a rounded out or bowed out shower curtain rod, so we get a little bit more room in the shower, because it's really annoying where this curtain gets really wet and cold and sticks to you every time you try to turn around to shower yourself. Shower head is probably gonna get upgraded too, with some aerator style, which uses less water, and shut off actually works. This shut off button doesn't really work, it still leaks through. So yeah, exhaust fans. Went around, back to the exhaust fans. They are obnoxiously loud for the little tiny fan like that. I don't know how much air they move, but they're not really efficient. And I'm probably gonna upgrade to max air fans, the ones that have option to move air both ways, so we can exhaust here and actually bring some fresh air in there. Yeah, but this why we wanted this particular trailer, because it's all pre-wired. All I'm gonna need to do is just switch the fans and get that fixed. AC is also pretty loud, I think. So this is the brand, And I think newer trails. So this is a higher profile up on the roof, and I believe some other manufacturers started to put a low profile ACs that supposedly quieter. This one here is obnoxiously loud, so this is just a fan. But you know, if you had trailers before, by the way, this is our first trailer ever. So low cool, high cool, it's pretty loud. It is sufficient for the space. I can't complain. It hasn't been very hot yet. We got to about 75 degrees yesterday, and I turned it on. In about an hour, I could easily work here, taking stuff apart. But it is loud. I don't know how comfortable you're gonna be nighttime having AC running, but hopefully nights are not that hot where we're going to. But we'll see. But anyway, workmanship is poor. The materials are cheap. The overall looks of the interior and exterior are good, unless you start digging into stuff like that or something breaks on you. And like I said, the bed broke right before we even paid for the trailer, and this broke on a third night us camping out. So yeah, I think I covered everything. If you have any questions, hit me up. If you have any concerns, if you have any suggestions on the stuff that I ask you guys about, just don't hesitate. Let me know. Send me some info. Let's communicate. But yeah, overall, we're gonna have to make it work. The price was actually good. I think it was 29. Hold on, let me find that out. Okay, so my financial manager just told me that we actually paid under MSRP. I think MSRP was about 32,000 on these type of trailers, and we paid 27. We financed. There was no down payment required at that time. So again, kudos to the dealership. I wish they were closer so we could address all these issues with them directly, but unfortunately we don't have that ability. My thoughts on that these trailers don't worth the money you're paying for them. So if you're able to pick up used one in a good condition for less money, it's probably going to be a better deal. But being a first camper, we didn't want to get into something used because it's all new to us. We're still learning all the things, all the cool stuff, all the fun stuff after you camped. So yeah, we just wanted to start fresh. And you can actually see the solar panel, the add-on one. There's one on the front, one there, and that's the higher profile AC unit, which makes your clearance a little higher. But anyway, yeah, honestly, I don't think it's worth 27 grand. The way it built, the materials are used, cheap, and for the manufacturer, hey, go ahead. If you see this video, hit me up. Let me know what your thoughts are. I don't have leisure of taking it to the dealership 900 miles away, and I contacted a couple of local dealerships that supposedly work with Forest River or Wildwood brands, but they are packed. So, and we have another trip next weekend, so I can't wait. That stuff needs to be fixed. I cannot put my teenage daughter on the floor or on a dinette. She'll refuse that. But anyway, they look nice on the outside, they look nice on the inside, unless you're like me and you start digging into stuff after something breaks. So yeah, here's our impressions of the trailer. Oh yeah, by the way, it's ready for the slide awning. Is that what they called? A little stretch cover that goes across. You see some mounting brackets. But anyway, I'm gonna try to do some improvements. Yeah, here's another thing to show you. This is how electrical was done from the factory. So the foam is just hanging. The foam is just hanging on the wire, and that's all exposed to the critters to get in. Here we go. So much for foaming it up. I'm gonna have to fix it for you guys. Don't mind me. Oh yeah, that's what these screws do. They kind of hold that aluminum to the frame. Oh, there's another one that doesn't hold anything. Oh, I'm glad, guys, I started showing you this stuff. But yeah, look, this one doesn't even hold anything. And more rust. The panels, yeah, look, I can get in there. So, oh yeah, look, there's a cutout for the fresh tank. It's not even sealed, not even attempted to be sealed. And yeah, interesting. Didn't have a tool to cut this panel? Look at this. They just broke it in half. Come on, guys. Yeah, I know not every customer will dig around trailer like I do, but come on. Use a tool. Wow. So yeah, I don't know, I can't even tell what was used here. Was it a reciprocating saw? Yeah, the gas line is all nice, rusty and fluffy. So yeah, I'm gonna have to address that too. Looks like one clip broke. They put another one on. But yeah, that's what you're paying for. Yeah, look at all the rust. Yeah, one day I'm gonna have to fix that too. Probably get some rust inhibitor, spray that on, and spend some more money on inhibitor and some paint to cover that up, because you know the rust, once it started, it will never stop. Okay, let me get you a good picture of the trailer before I let you go, and I'll let you go. Okay, thank you everybody for viewing this video. Hopefully it gives some of you guys an idea of how it's built. Okay, have a nice day. Did you think I was gonna let you go that easy? So since I got my extension ladder out, I was gonna show you that. I believe this one is a 12-foot extension ladder. They go all the way up to 22. I don't even know how they stay in one piece being that long. This one is all right. Just gonna make sure it's got something to support it so it wouldn't slide off. Last time I didn't have a slide out and I put the ladder up, I was afraid to get up on the roof. Today I'm not so much afraid to go up on the roof. So since I got that up, let's go up on the roof. And yes, we also got this ladder to use at the bunk bed. You know, you can collapse it in sections and use it there because it's got those nice hooks, and then take it away into the storage, which I showed you at the very beginning. Oh yeah, these caps, I don't know what's wrong with these caps, but they always, like this side always slides out like that and barely hangs there. I do have my rhino hoses there. I don't want to lose them, so Let me know if you got some really good ideas for that. I don't want to deal with any screwing anything in drilling holes, because I'm afraid those screws might rip into my hose. I don't want that. But let me know if you find something really nice, solid for the end caps. I'll appreciate that. And yes, these trailers do not have LED lights. All of those light bulbs are incandescent. So at one point I'm probably gonna have to replace all of them. It doesn't have a license plate light. I just noticed that. They're just red and there is no white flashing down. I don't know if you're supposed to have a license plate light. But anyway, let's go up on the roof and see what's up there. Yeah, this ladder is a little sketchy, but oh well, it works for what I need it to. So here we go. Let's go up on the roof and see what we can see. It's supposedly a walkable roof. It's a little soft, but I'm a lightweight guy. So anyway, that's what the roof looks like. So this panel comes with the trailer. This was added on. This trailer is pre-wired. This particular model from that particular manufacturer, from that particular dealer, came with one panel and the controller. So that's how they hook up the second panel, and I believe that controller can take a third panel, and we actually do have room for that, and there is some room on the front, and there is not enough room here. So we could physically add 2 more panels, and probably will need to upgrade the controller, but that's in the future. So the fan's gonna be replaced. It comes with antenna. It's a TV antenna and Wi-Fi signal booster. If you buy a module and install it on the inside, you already have an antenna. So I guess you just hook up to it and you're gonna have your booster extender or signal booster for your Wi-Fi. Okay, model of the AC. We'll see how that's gonna last. And here you slide on, same rubber membrane material. Looks like when dealer put that panel on, they looked around and they fixed a couple other screw holes. I can see some fresh caulking. So far it doesn't look bad. I didn't get up on the roof at the dealership, just put ladder on the side and kind of glanced at it. But I did see right there was a screw poking through, and there was one somewhere else. But again, dealership did a good job noticing all that stuff. Yeah, looks like they fixed a little bit stuff there, fixed all the screws. Okay. I actually asked them about the solar panels, 190 watts each. I asked about how durable these are during hailstorm, and they said, well, they actually protect your roof. So your plastic will shatter, but this is going to be the last thing to break. Seemed like real glass actually, but we'll see. So yeah, not so much to see here, but you probably want to go up and check, make sure no screws are poking through and everything is nice and sealed. And these little caps on the vent tubes sometimes get missing, and the covers are really easy to break. So yeah, but those are going to be updated with Max Air fans with some covers. They've got telescopic ones, kind of low profile telescopic covers, and that's what we're going to go for. But anyway, now I guess I can finish my video. Again, have a good day everybody. Bye.